Today, I will talk about how to sort various types of numbers. Those various types of numbers may include square roots, mixed numbers, percents, decimals, and other various types of numbers that may not necessarily be in a standard notation. So, one of the key things we want to do is we need to first come up with a great understanding of some of the various components of sorting. Oftentimes, you may hear some of the terminology such as least to greatest, lowest to highest, or smallest to largest. This all, the mathematical terminology we want to use with that is ascending, and that's with a A. When we talk about highest to lowest, greatest to least, those things will be something that we call descending for mathematical terminology. So when we talk about sorting, what we want to do is we want to go to listen spreadsheet. So I'm going to click on listen spreadsheet, which is this icon right here. All right. And one of the first things I want to do is let me give myself a variable. So I'm going to give him a variable of X. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down, and one of the problems I'm going to take a look at is this particular problem. Uh, they're asking to sort this from least to greatest. And as I told you guys, anytime we're talking about least to greatest or smallest to largest, or anytime we're talking about something getting bigger, um, it's going to be ascending. So in order to put these numbers in here to determine the various types of ways to sort it, I always have to put the equal sign before each number. Okay, so let me put that in there. And obviously, if I put A, I'm going to put A in here. I'm going to put 2.33, and I just stop it right there. Because that symbol above that means to tell me that it's going to continue. All right, the next one is pi. Remember, put that equal sign in there. And this is what you press for pi. And that's going to give me my pi. Now, you notice that it automatically simplified this to 3.14159. But if you hover over it, it will give you the original format of that number. This is a great thing about the TI Nspire. Let's go down to the next one. All right, equal sign. And I want to put that fraction there, so I can press Control division sign. And that number was 20 over 9. All right. And remember, this is the original format. You see it you always have to put that equal sign before each one of them. And finally, I want to put that 3 in there, so it's going to be equal 3. Okay? Now, here's the key thing. One of the biggest things I stress to you guys is always put an equal sign before each number. You have to do that, okay? So I want to move it up to this portion right here, okay? I want to put in this particular box right here. I'm going to press Menu 1 6, which is Menu Actions Sort. Okay? Now, sometimes this may give you this type of prompt. That is absolutely fine. It's basically what you're doing is telling the system to override anything else that may have been represented by that variable X. And we'll talk about that another time. So we're going to press OK. Now remember, I want to put this in ascending because it said least to greatest. And you can obviously see that with this notation, you got ascending and descending. But we want to do ascending. And now it sorts it for us. So if I look at that, my smallest number is 20 over 9. The next number is 2.333. The next number is 3. And the next number is pi. So my smallest number is 20 over 9. And my biggest number is pi. So obviously, I see that my answer to this will be D. What we're going to take a look at is how to determine what answer fills the need of this variable that is between 1/8 and 18%. With problems like this, let's say that I just want to figure out what number is greater than. So let's say if I were to take this 18% off, and let's say that I'm trying to figure out what is greater than 1/8. So how we'll do this, I'll put X in here. Okay. And I'm going to put an equal sign before each number. Remember that? So put the equal sign. I'm going to put the 1/8 in there. Okay. And let me try another problem. Let me use this 1/5 for my answer. And I want to see which one is greater. So let's put the 1/5. Now remember, if I'm going to do ascending, it's from least to greatest. Okay. So when I solve this, 1/5, if I said from least to greatest, if I'm using ascending, the 1/5 should come after. If I use descending, the 1/5 will come before this. And just remember your calculation as far as whether it is ascending or descending. That's going to kind of dictate to you how you figure out your answer. So remember, menu 1/6. I'm going to do ascending. And when I do this problem right here, I see that 1/5 is greater than 1/8. Very easy process. Okay, let's try another one out. Let's try out 0.09. So let me replace this with 0.09. Delete this equal sign 0.09. All right. So I'm going to go here again, menu 1/6, and I want to see is 0.09 greater. I'm going to do ascending. And as you notice, 0.09 is not greater. It's actually less than 1/8. Okay, because we did ascending, which is least to greatest. And this is a quick and easy way you can determine what is greater or what is or less than. Okay, it doesn't matter with this kind of problem whether you do ascending or descending. You just have to determine, hey, what order am I putting it in as far as that terminology. Now let's look at this whole entire problem. I'm gonna go back in here, put the whole problem in there. Let's go back and add that 18%. So I'm gonna put that equal 18%, and you press this for your percent sign. Okay, menu 1/6, and I'm trying to see once again what is in between 1/8 and 18%. I'm going to do ascending, and when I solve this, I see that nothing changes. Okay, it's not in between these two, so that doesn't work. All right, so let me change that to that next problem, which is the square root of 0.02. So let's clear that out. Equal the square root of 0.02. All right, and remember, if you hover over, it will give you the original format down here. Okay, now we're going to sort this menu 1/6, ascending, and we see that, hey, the square root of 0.02 is in between 1/8 and 18%. So our answer to this particular problem would be D. Now, I went and originally when I showed you this, I just wanted to figure out, hey, what would be greater than 1/8? Just kind of give you a understanding of how this calculator really works. Let's take a look at the next one. The final one we are looking at is if we have something on a number line. Okay? So when I have this particular problem, let's clear all these out first before I go into more of a discussion of it. So if I have a particular problem like this, what I want to do is I want to put each one of these numbers in here from that number line, as well as this original number into the calculator. Okay? And I can do ascending or descending, doesn't matter, but I'm trying to figure out where will it fall? Will it fall in between the 8 and the 9 or the 9 and the 10? All right. So let's put this in here. Let's put equal 8. And obviously, let's go ahead and put the 0.5 in here, 8.5, because I think that's going to come and it's going to help us understand where our point is going to fall. Equal 9. Equal 9.5. Equal 10. And finally, I want to put equal this square root of 92. Okay. Now, remember, you hover over it to show you the original format. So it doesn't matter if I do ascending or descending. So menu 1-6, I'm going to use ascending. So if I look at this, my original number was the square root of 92. Obviously, I see it's not in between 8 and 9, so I know it's not M. Okay? It's not between 9 and 9.5, so it's not N. So I'm stuck between P and Q. Now let's really think about this. This is my original format. Which one do we think our answer would be? Is that square root of 92, which is 9.59, closer to 9.5, or is it closer to 10? Our answer will obviously be H, which is point P. And all you're doing is sorting all your problems in here. And this is an easy way of coming up with the answer. Very easy format. Thank you, and I hope this helps you out with understanding how to do sorting. And remember, when you're putting these numbers in here, make sure you put an equal sign in front of each one. And if you ever have a miscalculation or misunderstanding, you can always hover over that problem and they give you the original format at the lower portion of your calculator. One other thing I want to add is don't forget your terminology, your mathematical terminology, what I talked about earlier. Ascending, least to greatest, descending, greatest to least. Thank you very much.